5 on set.
Big one, Mark.
It's become this practice for me to think about my body and what it does for me and all the strength within me.
I am so excited that we're having this conversation today. Just to start off, very, very basic. What's your name and what's your story?
I'm so excited too. I'm Allie. I am a shark attack survivor, a 2-time silver medalist swimmer, and a nonprofit founder.
So when did you decide to actually train for the Para Games?
I had definitely felt challenged after the attack, having been conscious in the water and swimming for my life. But it was important for me that if it was on the table for something that I could get back and reclaim in my life now, that I would throw everything I had at trying to do just that. So a month in, I had a call with a track and field para athlete, and she had suggested to think about it, and I thought it was crazy. And then as I worked at it, I had the positive what if creep into my mind. So 3.5 months after the shark attack was my first swim meet that I went to.
Wow.
Yeah, and then after nationals, I swam at the nationals meet. I was making the decision to delay my post-grad job and instead try to make the games. It helped me build strength to be like, I'm gonna go out and seize this life and take back what I feel like I've lost and make the most of the second chance here.
Can you tell me about where do you find that strength?
The strength comes from those daily practices of taking care of myself, my body, my muscles, my skin, and also taking care of my mind.
How have your rituals about taking care of your skin or honestly honoring your skin, how have they changed?
After the attack, I was a 23-year-old girl who had just become an amputee overnight. And it felt so crushing. And I remember in the early months, I would look at myself in the mirror and be like, I'm so ugly now.
Oh my gosh.
And it took a long time to learn to see beauty and strength in this new body. One of the ways that I did that was skincare. It was already part of my routine to do my skincare. And I decided that I was gonna use it as an opportunity to practice gratitude and self-love. So as I put lotion on my arms each night, I'm thinking about what my arms do for me. These are the arms that swam their way 75 yards back to a boat to save me from a shark. These are the arms that swam their way to 2 silver medals and 2 American records.
Say it.
These
Oh
are
my gosh.
right? These are the arms that get to give prosthetics to women and girls through my nonprofit's work. It's become this practice for me to think about my body and what it does for me and all the strength within me brought about by the simple act of taking care of my body and my skin.
What parts of strength do other people not get to see?
There's been a lot of adjustments. I no longer have an ankle that moves. So every strength training session I'm doing, we're accounting for, not being able to bend an ankle and do a squat, right? I had to account for an imbalance in my body because I'm missing half of my leg. So it's so important for me to work my core. My doctors early on in my recovery, they told me that the stronger my core was, the better prepared I was gonna be to learn how to use a prosthetic. So I just decided I was gonna do abs every day, and now I've started a routine where I do 500 abs every night.
I'm sorry, say again, how many?
500 abs every night to keep my core strong, yeah.
How do you feel like your story was portrayed in the media, in the headlines?
There was a lot of media around what had happened to me, and it was very sensationalized. It became about a missing foot and a shark and blood, and it missed 2 females who saved themselves, who fought a shark and swam back to a boat, and the strength there, the sweetest parts of that, horrific day got lost. For 8 months, I didn't speak to the media about it. I focused on my own healing, and I ultimately decided to go public with the intention of correcting the narrative. There had been different narratives in the media that the captain had jumped in and saved us, and it felt really important for me to go change that narrative and go reclaim our power and our strength. I think there's a tendency in media and in society to downplay or misattribute women's strength. And so work like this is so important, what Aveeno and TOGETHXR are doing here.
Especially, I think, in a media landscape that maybe wants us to think otherwise, that diminishes the power of women athletes in general.
Yes. And so I'm really excited about it. I think it's gonna have a huge impact.
What do you wish people would think about more as it comes to being maybe re-traumatized or just a struggle getting back in the water at all?
My experience has been people like to ask about the high moments. We lose the questions around those lower moments that you do have to pull yourself out of, the re-traumatization, the physical pain, the emotional pain. There were so many practices where my goggles were filled with tears because I had had flashbacks from certain movements in the water. There's constant mental and physical setbacks, and the strength is in pulling yourself out of those.
Watching how athletes are interviewed, it's like men are asked about like achievement and times, all this stuff, and women, it's always like what was your get ready with me? Like, what was your routine before you got here? Like, do you feel that? Have you encountered that before?
When I do media, I notice there's an extra focus on capturing my amputated leg and on focusing on what my body looks like. And I always find myself in those positions kind of wanting them to instead focus on capturing me while I'm swimming, or understand the level that it's at and what it takes rather than just kind of what it looks like. And so for me to finish the Para Games and have swum a faster 100 backstroke than I had ever swum with 2 legs, this time with 1, just felt like such a message to that point. A lot of times we look at para athletes as inspirational, and in doing so we fail to really give the space and the time to acknowledging how incredibly talented, fast, and powerful we are. And so as an athlete with a disability, I'm so grateful to Aveeno and TOGETHXR for including athletes with disabilities as they choose how to represent strength. I so deeply believe that we are just sitting on wells of capacity we don't know are within us. We are so much stronger than we think.